Let me tell you, you don't have the skills, son, to fuck with us down here. Let me just be blunt. You don't have that skill, okay? So play all fucking day long, because we got all night, all right? I promise you that. You don't have the skill to fuck with us down here.
I don't have a job, so I'll be here all day.
That's right. And how about your 12 grand that you put in the bank, or was put in the bank? Guess who's got it?
All right.
We do.
Do you even know about that?
I don't know. Tell me.
I don't think he does.
I don't think you do either.
Well, Nip Hustle, big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe, stay tuned, all that.
All that and then some to the income. Hit the YouTube streets, finding Conan Ben 1 as we navigate throughout the 7 C's. The constant, consistent, continuous content creation campaign continues. We pulling up on a young man. This is Between the Lines once again. This is an organization that goes behind the walls, apparently in California. I don't know if anywhere else. California prison system. And they work on prison reform with inmates that have lengthy sentences. And there's a lot of testimonials, and this is another one. Dude got 40 years to life, man, at a very young age. So if you're young, you out here paying attention, this might be one you want to take notes on, man. Don't let this go over your head. Let it be a lesson learned. No further ado, let's see what this young man has been up to.
Unfortunately, I got 40 years of life right now. 15 years of life for second-degree murder. 25 to life for gang and the gun enhancements.
What was that moment that kind of shifted everything for you?
Being in that shoe, man. My mom passed away. You know, in the shoe, you can't get on the phone. It took a lot, though, for me to start doing my best to put myself first and do what I know she would want me to do as a man.
He looked like Slim 400. It seemed like a lot of people in that shoe start looking at life different. It's crazy.
So first and foremost, what's your name and where you from?
My name is Kenny. You know, I'm from South Central LA. You know, junior high horseman attentive. That area right there, to be specific.
Okay. Now, if you don't mind me asking, what are you down for?
I'm down for second-degree murder.
Now, how long you been down?
Been down 15.
15, I think it says since he was 19, 34 years old. And the first thing you come to your mind to give a reference where you from is the junior high school you went to, meaning haven't had much opportunity to live whatsoever. Junior high school.
Going on 16.
How do you feel today? Like, how's your spirit? How do you feel today?
Today I feel good. I feel blessed. I feel alive. I feel grateful. You know what I mean, for still being able to breathe and have some some integrity about myself over this time. You know, I haven't lost my mind. You know, still got my sanity. Still got family members and loved ones that love me out there. You know, I feel great.
Now, how long have you been down now?
15.
15. What's your sentence?
Unfortunately, I got 40 years of life right now. 15 years of life for second-degree murder. 25 to life for gang and the gun enhancements. But I would have board in less than 4 years. And
he got more time for the actual gang and gun enhancements than he did for the murder. Let that sink in. It's crazy.
the process of doing everything I gotta do to position myself to get up out of here, you know, meeting all the requirements that's met around here, staying disciplinary free, you know what I mean, trying to maintain A1A status with good work ethics and, you know what I mean, going to self-help groups, you know what I mean, also trying to facilitate certain groups, you know, just trying to do something constructive, you know what I mean, with my life so I could, because I know I'm a huge impact on not just myself, but others around me too.
So we originally met, you were at SAC.
Yeah, California State Prison, Sacramento, New Folks, to be exact, C-Yard.
Absolutely, and when we met there, man, you had such an amazing energy and spirit. Instantly, I could see everybody gravitated to you, our volunteers, and I saw how you were essentially running things on the yard, man, and it was amazing. And then I remember when we posted you dancing, bro, it went crazy.
We're regular, huh? On the real, because you feel the spirit, though. You feel me? It's all in the soul. You feel me? It's all in the soul. And you feel me? It's where I'm at today with myself, though. I'm going with my soul tell me to do. My soul got me aware of my impact on.
I ain't gonna lie, it's hard for me to imagine all this positive energy in an environment like that. it seems like it's bound to fizzle out. Could you imagine everybody within the institution catching this fire and being on this page? This is a deep, this is either a real self defense mental mechanism to maintain your sanity, or it is a deep level of joy and peace that passeth understanding. And that is what the Bible offers. And that is really the most valuable thing that the Bible claims to offer outside of eternal life is the peace that passeth all understanding. You say that fast, you don't really let it grasp what it means. It means you got so much peace that everybody from the outside looking in can't understand why you so peaceful. Like Job possessed the peace that passeth all understanding when he was going through the worst. I've often shared the story of my favorite hymn, It Is Well With My Soul, and the story of how it was allegedly inspired when it was written. And it was a man who had lost everything. And after all that, losing everything, he wrote the song, It Is Well With My Soul. That there is a peace that passeth all understanding.
Others, and that's my influence that I got in. I'm ready to utilize that in the righteous aspect that I can, the best way that I can, you know what I mean? Because I know so many people follow after me and look up to me. So whatever they see me doing, I'm quite sure that they'll follow me. So if y'all follow me to lead in this path, you know what I mean? I want y'all to follow me and see me doing something constructive, something that's gonna bring forth something good for all of us, not just for me and my community, but for us as a people.
Now, were you always aware of your influence?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I probably utilized it in the wrong aspect because at one point that's where I was at, but I'm spiritual, I mean, I'm Muslim and I go to Juma and I pray and I know that God set me down, for me to understand that I'm way greater than half of the things I was out there doing, even in here, thinking that it was over at one point, I know God still got me right here right now because He like, no, you got so much good to give back to. And I do so much good every day that go unannounced because that's what I'm supposed to do. So if I could be any help, I'm gonna do my best to be it.
Now, what was that moment that kind of shifted everything for you? Can you remember a specific moment?
Yeah, man. Being in that shoe, man, for some charges, I caught years ago, probably over 10 years ago, and my mom passed away. It's my great auntie, but I called her mom because she raised me, and she passed away in there, and I in the shoe you can't get on the phone. You know what I mean? You can't. It was like that was really the first person that I lost that was somebody to me like that. Family members that raised me though. So it took a lot though for me to start doing my best to put myself first and do what I know she would want me to do as a man to what she raised me as. So I do my best to be. That man that she would want me to be, even though that she's not here in the physics, she still see me spiritually and she's still here. So I do my best, to do good by people and do good by her,
Absolutely. Now, you say you were raised by your great auntie.
And my great grandmother and my great auntie, great uncles. I was raised by all the greats.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wonder where his mother and father was. He skipped over moms and dad and went to aunties and uncles. Interesting.
That's why a lot of people say I got an old soul. I was raised by a lot of older people. You know what I mean? The only kid in the house. That's why I was always outside too. One of those kids in the house, all older people. I was outside. You know what I mean? I went to hang with my friends. But yeah, man, everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely. Now, if you don't mind me asking, I mean, feel free to skip over the question. But what was your parents? What was that situation like?
Oh, my parents, my dad, he was all the way till I was like 10 or 11. He was in and out of prison.
Crazy. He was wondering the same thing I was wondering after he explained how he was raised.
And I grew up with his grandmother. And I grew up with my dad's grandmother and my mother. She was out there and hey look, she was out there in Michigan.
Hey, we're not doing none of that podcast shit, cuz.
Hey, look, bro.
They're homies, nigga.
Bro.
They're homies, nigga. We are.
If they put him on blast, is he not really as positive as he trying to put forward? Did the homies just come and crash his spot? Leave it to the keyways. That's crazy.
We don't do it when we out here though. Okay. Move again.
Hey, but yeah, man, the homies, these my partners right here, man. Every day,
Nah,
they
it's
some
all
good people.
good.
They
It's
some
love.
good people.
It's
You know,
love.
everybody want to, you know what I mean. But because there's so many great talents and great people behind these walls that go unnoticed, and it's like, man, just be rare for us to having, you know what I mean, people that actually come here legit for us to reach out and send some good positive words to them people on the streets, though. You know. So, homies, we be looking forward to having y'all coming up here. That, you know what I mean, let us speak out there to some of them good people out there. They need to.
He trying to translate what they just said as they was looking forward to these people. I don't know. I'm gonna let him ride though.
Hear some good words from good people. It's another good brother. You know what I mean? They need to hear some good words from some good people.
Absolutely. So to that point, what are some of the messages that you want to send out there to the youth that you now have so much influence over, especially in your neighborhood, but even beyond that?
Yeah, don't be so quick to try to prove yourself to people to try to fit into something, man. You know what I mean? Like, be who you are. Like, that's the best advice that I can give somebody. Be who you are, because that's how you survive in life. You know what I mean? People find themselves in situations being other than who they was here to be, you know, but sometimes that be God sitting us down to let us find ourselves at the same time, you know, because at one point, man, you know, I was out there lost, thought that this was a life, and I had to come in here and bump my head to sit down and lose so much to be like, you know what, hold on, man, look, you great in a whole lot of other areas, bro. Like, you know what I mean? There's so much other stuff that you can do. I never left LA County till I came to prison, you know, so I'm like, there's a whole world out here that I want to see and venture when I get out, you know. Yeah, man, so that's what I'll be on. That'd be my motivation, you know.
Right. So, question for you, you know, when we come in, sometimes we have fun and everybody's smiling and it's a beautiful day. It's an escape from the norm, right? But on a regular day, like, what are some of the things that you go through? What are some of the things that you can speak on that serve as a deterrent, so people, when they hear it, they recognize that, like, this ain't where you want to be?
Yeah, this ain't where you want to be, because you're gonna be you know, unfortunately, prison. This obviously, like, I guess it's where they put some of the people that they consider the lowest of the lowest. And everybody in here ain't bad people, but some people here dirtbags too. And some of these people would, you know what I mean, trigger you to come outside your character. But it's like, you gotta maintain discipline and maintain knowing who you are, though. You know what I mean? Controlling your emotions, controlling, you know what I mean, your surroundings. You know what I mean, who you are. Sometimes you gotta know yourself. Be days to where I be like, man, I'm not even gonna come out the cell because, you know what I mean? No, I know me, you know, and I don't want somebody to be playing or trigger me to, and it's like, no, but that's the growth that I see in myself, though. Like, man, hold on, at one point, I used to be responding to so much, but like now it's like, man, I don't know, from my experience, I've been through too much, you know, so it's like, man, it's different now. It's like, man, I could be able to see and think before I just act, you know, because I've seen so much before, so it's like, I can see stuff coming. So now I know how to address certain things, or even if, like, I know how to turn away, and I'm a man before anything, so I'm not afraid to, you know what I mean?
To keep it 100% Google with you, prison is like the easiest place to avoid problems. You have a large percentage of the population trying to just program, do their time, avoid issues, and go home. And if you dedicate yourself to that, it's a very good chance that you will be successful. However, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So it's so many little things to get into. Often people don't find themselves able to just mind their own business and program, and you can't get caught up.
Let certain stuff go. I know who I am. And I think for people more than they probably think for themselves at the times, you know? So that's where I'll be at.
Absolutely. You know, the other day we were at Rikers Island in New York with the brother Shaka Senghor.
Okay, that answers another question. It's not just California. They all over, in Rikers too.
Formerly incarcerated, New York Times best-selling author. He actually just dropped a book called How to Be Free, but also Charlemagne the God came in with us, and he spoke on being able to let people know when they hurt your feelings and being man enough to say, like, hey man, like, I didn't like that. That hurt me, and this is why. And communicating that, and how much communication can kind of de-escalate situations.
With the communication, what I learned, everybody ain't gonna understand the message that you gotta give. So the communication, you gotta I ain't gonna say limited. You gotta take the initiative to try to enlighten. But some people, they gonna want to go back and forth with you because they not there. It's gonna go.
Yes, that's the thing you're gonna run into in prison and in life in general. Communication levels are very, very different. There's a vast range of communication levels. Some people are just fools. And like Nelly Fuller Jr. has taught us, no contact, no conflict. To avoid a lot of communication that is not just definitely necessary is a wise thing to do, especially amongst us, even while incarcerated.
Over their head, and it's like, man, I'm kind of there to where it's like, man, I'ma still do my part. But once I see like, man, you stuck in your ways or you ain't trying to be receptive to the good that I'm telling you, and I'm only telling you because I've been through certain stuff, and I'm telling you, I see where you're headed. Cause man, hold on, I didn't listen at one point. You know, I didn't listen, man. Shit, I had so many good people in my life that I'm blessed today to have that. Cause some people ain't grow up in love in the house. I had love in the house. You know what I'm saying? I just was young and chose to run them streets. You know what I mean? But you know, shit, I'm grateful. I had people that love me. You know what I mean? So maybe that's why I'm able to get so much love today to not just my family and friends, but just for, you know what I mean, human kindness. You know, shit, cause I know that's the way of the world. That's the way of the life. You know. That's the way of the world, man.
Have you forgiven yourself?
Yeah, I had to. But it might sound crazy, but when my mom passed, when she was in that shoe, when my great auntie, when she passed, for like the first 5 days, bro, I couldn't do nothing. I ain't gonna lie, but like when she came to me and told me, boy, you better get up, like, you know what I mean, get your shit together, because I'm still watching you, boy. I forgive you. You gotta forgive yourself. But knowing, like, man, like even after that, I lost some more family members that was something to me, and they got me in spirit, you know what I mean? Because all the wisdom and knowledge that
Imagine just having to embrace yourself to get ready for a long line and list of those type of announcements and not being able to be there for any of them. Shout out free to SPIs, man, because I've had to be more pallbearer than I would ever have imagined. But I would most definitely prefer to have been here to be a pallbearer than not have been able because I was incarcerated.
they gave me, you know what I mean, I utilize it today, and that's why I'm so grateful. But they told me that I had to forgive myself because I was young when I was out there, you know what I mean, doing what I was doing, you know what I mean? And that's why they passed some of these new laws, because half of us wasn't even understanding the totality of our actions before we was out there doing what we was doing, you know? So, and me knowing that, hell yeah, I had to forgive myself, you know what I mean? It's like, man, you didn't know no better. You kind of knew better, you knew right from wrong, but you didn't understand everything that you was doing and everything that you was gonna be going through once you got caught up, you know? And what my mom used to always tell me, boy, it's easy to get in jail, but it's hard to get out. And right now, that's where I'm struggling with, you know what I mean? Well, not struggling because I'm focused, but I know I'm at a spiritual warfare with myself, you know what I mean? My own worst enemy, because I know better. So when I don't do better, that's where I be, you know, that's where I be like at, you know, because I know better, man. You know, I've been through too much, you know?
Right, absolutely. Now, again, I'm gonna ask a question. Feel free to pass over it. But have you ever had any contact with your victim's family or anything? Is there any sort of message that you sent to them, or a message that you would want to send to them? And feel free to pass over it if you.
No, it's cool because it's like, you know, I gotta go to board, you know, and I done been in certain classes and programs in here that actually had me thinking in that area to where I had to take the time out to write remorse letters and, you know what I mean, things in that nature, you know, and that's something that I'm also working on with myself, you know what I mean, in the spiritual aspect, you know, because
A lot of times when you've caught up in that type of lifestyle and the victim was in that lifestyle too, the parents and family members, believe it or not, have an understanding that it's a lost generation. I can recall being a teen and accidentally shooting a friend of mine and at the Fox Hill Mall actually, and his father, I had to tell him that I was responsible because first we came with a lie and told him that some strangers was responsible. While we was at the UCLA Medical Center, it was three of us. The third friend who was not shot came and told me that the friend that was shot, father knows the truth. And I was suspicious that the one who came and reported this to me had told him, which it ended up he did. I'm like, how you know? He's like, I don't know, man, but you better go talk to him. So I had to go then approach my friend's father and tell him like, yo, man, I'm the one that shot him. And he was like, you already know. I'm like, how you know? He said, because he was going down emergency surgery. He didn't know if he was going to make it or not. And he didn't want to go down with no lies on him. So he started telling the nurses what really happened. But I say that to say his father and my mother had a relationship that extended years as far as raising children in the same community. And he approached the situation that day. He said, man, God is trying to get y'all attention. He never treated me like you hurt my son. He always handled the situation as if my sons had gotten themselves in some trouble. And a lot of times when things are looked at objectively from the outside, you realize that this was not a personal thing done to your loved one by someone intentionally. This is a whole generation caught up in a deadly, disgusting, disastrous situation that we all need to move on from. On my mama.
Everybody like matter, man, you know? And even if I wasn't the one on this crime or whatever, it is just like, man, I was destructive at one point, you know, and that's why I can't be destructive no more, you know? So that's why I try to give on some good insight that I can, you know, because I can only imagine if I wasn't sitting down right now, like I could have been like a gang of my homies out in.
That phrase, I can only imagine, reminds me of a very pretty, I think it's a church song or a spirit, yeah, it's a church song about only imagine, about what it'll be like when it's time to see Jesus. A beautiful song. Whether you believe or not, the song is beautiful. When he said, I can only imagine, it came to my mind. I can only imagine. Go check it out.
Lost that I love to death, and I'm just imagining they moms and grandmas and things like that. And I'm like, man, I know my granny, like, man, damn, you know, that would have, you know what I mean, hurt her, and you know, and
Absolutely, man. So I want to ask you this last question. I say it's the last. I tend to do that. Say I'm gonna ask you one more, but when it's all said and done, when you up out of here, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to remember about you?
oh man, he was honorable, man. His word, he was impeccable with his word. You know what I mean? He did his best, you know what I mean, to be a good dude. You know what I mean? He helped as much as he could. And you know what I mean? Shit, he was a great man, you know, shit. You know, he stood on business. If he said something, he was gonna make sure that it came through, you know, his word, my word, everything, you know, and you gotta be impeccable with your word, or at least give it your all, you know, and everything that you do in life, you try to give it your best. You know what I mean? Try to be the best in all areas, in all aspects, you know what I mean? You for real, you know what I mean? From everything that you do, from being a father, a parent, a brother, a sister, you know what I mean? A son, an uncle, or a homie, you know what I mean? A mentor, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know what I mean? Give it.
This is what happened to our people. So many different versions of this story. It's like a strong man, a leader, would be a good parent, but it seemed like his future was snatched from him before he even got the opportunity of even thinking of being a parent, and just thinking about the tree that could have come from him meeting a young lady, starting a family, raising some good kids under this structure that we see now, this strength, this morality, this integrity. This has been played out amongst our community over and over and over again, which has caused us to be at a deficit culturally, societal-wise. It's just not, look at the big situation like, oh, they doing bad. Yeah, it's one scenario, one situation at a time over decades that caused us to be in this current condition.
Your best, you know what I mean? Try to treat people how you want to be treated, and I think that's how you will make it far in life, you know.
Can't you see him out at the park with the kids? They having a scruffle. Now he's standing there between them like, no, man, now what happened? Oh yeah, no, you can't do that because of this. You know that ain't right. Now how would you feel? Now you shake his hand and you do, now you go run a lap, or y'all go run a lap together. Matter of fact, y'all go grab them big ass, them heavy ones, and y'all both carry them to the gate and back. That's the type of person you see right here. And it was so many of them we've been robbed of that.
Absolutely. What would you say to anybody who thinks that people who come to prison are the worst of us, the worst of society? What would you say to that?
Just because based off like all the crimes that be committed out there, and I'm not in agreement, you know, ain't nobody perfect, you know what I mean? Ain't no sin bigger than the other one. So it's like, man, there's just a lot of stuff that we don't agree with, man. Little kids out there and like, you know, certain things, but it's like, it ain't my job to judge nobody. But at the same time, it's like, you know, society, they look at us like, man, oh, no matter if they understand where you was at that time in your life where whatever landed you to being here, like, It ain't nobody trying to be judging nobody, man, you know, because ain't no right or wrong place, ain't no right or wrong time, you know what I mean, to find that paradigm shifting, you know what I mean, get your life together. You know what I mean? Because you read the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, whatever, like half of the people in the Bible was some of the same people that surround us today. You know what I mean? Majority of them, you know, people got to open that book and, you know what I mean, get some knowledge, get some game, so they can kind of understand a little bit different, you know what I mean, be able to relate a little different, you know?
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Anything you want to leave us with?
Yeah, man, moving forward, man, you know, I just want to say, man, God bless the people, man, because right now, we at a time in life to where, man, it's like so much opportunity, man, and I be wanting people out there, man, to influence these youth, though, man, to, you know what I mean, do something different, man. There's people out there that's still trying to utilize these youth to do stuff that they ain't even doing because, you know what I mean, and I don't like that. You can't be no hypocrite, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, man, let's teach these youth something different. You know what I'm saying? Something good that, because that's the future. You know what I mean? I'm 34, so these little kids is 14, 15. Like, man, we can't ruin their lives. They ain't even got no record. You know what I'm saying? They could be so much in life. Let's start speaking good words to them, though. Showing them something great, showing them something different. Let's break that cycle, though. You know what I mean? This repetitive cycle that been going on, man, for what? 60s. Let's break that cycle, though. You know what I'm saying? Let's do something different because it's the best time in America to be the people. You know?
If you had somebody to pour into you when you were a kid in the same way that you now look to pour into the youth, what do you think you could have? What do you think you could have been?
Could have been anything, man. You know, football player, basketball player, probably you know what I mean, a personal trainer, boxing or whatever, you know what I mean. But it's like whatever like whatever I'm talking about.
Just think, look at our people. No knock to him. I love this brother, man. But just think, first thing come out our mouth, it's all physicality. And he seems like a sharp brother with his brain, but we've been so limited, so brainwashed to think. And this is a person whose entire future has been snatched away from. He has 40 years to life. And immediately, first thing come to his mouth after 15 years of incarceration is sports. He went all the way from boxing training, basketball, football. Nothing wrong with that. But we have to, as a community, if we come out reaching out and teaching you, we have to think way bigger than that. That's why I'm so impressed by when on the intro when Jeff I say, man, Father, all the time I put it in this, Father, went to school or something, I could have been a brain surgeon. Let's think outside the box sometime, even in the black box.
Like I catch on easy. You know what I mean? I learned easy, and it seemed like everything that I do, I'll be great in it. You know what I mean? Football, basketball, I'm a star, you know, running the streets, a star, you know, but yeah, man, like my uncle, before he got incarcerated, he used to do everything for me. He used to have me in football, take me to church and all that. But I was like 9 when he went to jail, and by the time he came home, I was already in here.
Right.
But yeah, man, you know, yeah. I wish I would have stayed in sports or something, you know what I mean? But it ain't too late for nothing though. You know what I mean? I could you know what I mean, save a soul these days with my influence, you know, I could coach somebody else, you know. That's why I become my blessings and still being grateful to be here.
That's crazy how I seen the coach in him though. I told y'all that's exactly what I seen was coach in him. But look, he's still talking about sports. So it ain't too late. This hurts, man. Man, our people, they did us like this, man. And I say they did us like this because there are a lot of things that were put in place that caused so many of us to be finding ourselves in a situation or making the decisions that we made to find ourselves in these situations. We have made some decisions, but in a climate, in a culture, in a generation, in a society where we were set up for the okie doke.
So many other lives that I can have an impact and help, and you know what I mean, and you know, for us to grow as a people.
Absolutely, brother. I just want to say I appreciate you so much for talking to us.
You, man.
One more question. I know I keep doing this, but I keep thinking of things, bro. And while I got you here, man, I feel like this is gonna be my longest interview today, man. I feel like I got a celeb on the yard for real. Now I mean, I'm telling you, man, you saw it, like the way that people gravitated towards you, man, and the way that, you know, just you dancing and your joy and your spirit came through. Man, it was just amazing, man. But if they opened up these gates today, what's the first thing you do?
First thing I want to do But I ain't gonna lie, I want to give my wife a hug because she been right here staying strong with me. You know what I mean? When everybody else feel like they gave up on me, you know what I mean? Her and my little stepson, man, they keep me going, man, you know, and I want to be there for them though, you know, because he out there without a father. So it's like, man, hold on, let me be, you know what I mean, that mill road that he needs, you know what I mean? So start trying to break that cycle there though. And I'm starting from right here doing my best, but yeah, that's what I want to do.
Absolutely. What's the first meal you're gonna eat?
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. I'm a foodie. You know what I mean? I eat. I'm gonna her to surprise me with something. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. Surprise me. She know what I eat.
Right.
Surprise me. It'd be way better than all these burritos and rice bowls I've been eating all this time. I'm tired of eating that, bro. This ain't living up in here. I know people be looking and saying, "Oh, you in there look like y'all living good, man." We barely see me to surviving, bro. You know what I mean? We ain't living, we surviving. That's it. It's a difference, a big difference.
Trying to
I'm
make
gonna
the
go
best
home
of
and
it.
live. I'm gonna go home and live. You know what I mean? For real. And I am though.
Absolutely. I know I'm gonna see you on that other side
Sure,
for
I'm
sure,
gonna see you, man. We going up.
For sure, brother.
You know,
Much
sir.
love, man.
Yeah,
Thank you
sure.
so much, bro.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, big
And that
bro.
was beautiful.
It's the resilience of our people that can make anything look like it's something great, from the N word to even with the Negro spirituals that we sing today, that were inspired from our pain that was inflicted upon us, years of being tormented and tortured. I don't know, they just seeking out the brothers, but I don't see too many Caucasians. I'm sure they have their version of inspirational content from behind the wall. But I don't know how energetic it is, how happy and pumped up the individuals are that are participating. Usually something like a life prison sentence kind of, puts a somberness on you that cause you to face reality, and you kind of move in that rhythm. But you see this dude dancing, partying, celebrating, smiling. So many of us do through the worst times. So shout out to Between the Lines. Shout out to everyone doing time. Shout out to those still out here with an opportunity to save themselves from these situations. Don't let these lessons go in one ear and out the other. On my mother.
Hanging with the wrong, you want to be a follower, you following people. Only 12 years old though, like you not even understanding. You done threw your whole fucking life away for nothing though. Boy, you is crazy as hell. You just don't know. They gonna give you some time because you got something to do with it. You was there. You just ain't understanding where I was from. I can't even do nothing. They won't even tell me nothing what you charged with, nothing. Because they want you to tell what the f you see.
Wasn't that puzzle? Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.